today we are here with another Dragon Ball Project Multi video. Today we are doing a tier list video of all the characters that are out in the game so far. Again, just a beta of the game, but I do want to make, again, a tier list video. Just rating the characters' kits, just the kits, not like the characters overall. That is a whole other thing. I would love to do like a tier list of the classes, like each character in the class, but like there's not enough for that, so I'm just gonna be doing the characters themselves. This will be probably a very long video because this has to be like very broken down to the last chord. So I want everyone to understand what I'm saying. But I know that not everyone's gonna agree with what I'm saying too, which is totally fine by the way. If you disagree with what I'm saying, let me know in the comment section below on why you disagree or why you do agree. But yeah, if you want to go for my head, you can. This probably will be very controversial, but this is only like after like me 2 days in to the game, so like take that with what you will. But again, just bear with me. This is very personal. This is a personal list for me. I'm not saying this is overall. This is just for me and how I feel about the characters. So without further ado, I want to thank all you guys for watching, whether old new viewer / subscriber. I appreciate it all the same. And now let's get into the video. So first off, we're just gonna be going from left to right because that's just how I do it. First off, we have is Krillin. Now, you see, I think he honestly works as a, what is he again? He's a is he like a technique character? What it's called? Or like a, I forget what the class is, but like I think it's like technique character. Yeah, I think I forget the name, but or he's something. But basically, Krillin has a good portion of utility when it comes to like disruption and like sabotaging the opponent, which I do fairly like take note of. I do appreciate. That's why I'm gonna put him at good. I think he belongs here. Again, he has his disruption is very substantial, and I think that he can honestly make a very good impression in the game. Like he really is, but like I think he's pretty. But I think for what kind of character he is, again, he's technically the first like disruptive based character in the game, right? So they're not obviously gonna get it like 100% right off the bat. So like it makes sense as to why he's not like perfect, but I think he's just good. He's good for what he does. There are better characters overall, obviously, but I think if you want to run Krillin with whoever that may be, I think he's just a good option, straight up good option. I do wish for his passive he did have a little bit more. Like his passive reduces the cooldown time when you mark an enemy, which is cool for the most part, right? But I think for a passive, there's not much left. But like his skills, I do think come in handy. Like some of them, some of Krillin's moves like become invisible after a certain amount of time. They mark an enemy. They shrink the field view status. Like that's stuff like that I like, right? You know what I mean? But like I kind of wish his passive did a little bit more. Again, it's not to say he's bad. I think there are other better options just overall as a character that are better than. So next up we have is Piccolo. Now he's interesting because as a damage character, you want to make sure that shines, right? And for the most part, it does for Piccolo. It honestly does. But I think what's the gripe with Piccolo is that like you have to. His ramp up is fine. It's fairly average, but he's hard to understand. Well, not too hard, but like it gets very complex understanding Piccolo, right? Like when you're reading into his passive, he instantly reduces the cooldown time when you attack an enemy with a rush attack, which again is fine for the most part. But when you look deeper into his, like, because for the most part they made this move very anime accurate with his special beam cannon. This is like his ultimate or / super attack. The longer you hold it, it will actually do more damage. That's something I really find pretty cool. But other than that, I just feel like he dies too quickly. You know what I mean? And that's not to say like he's bad again, right? He's not. He does what he's supposed to do, and that's damage, right? But other than that, that's basically it. So I'm putting him at good. He's good. He does a good amount of damage. I will give him that. He does a fantastic amount of damage as a damage character. I'll give him that, absolutely. But I think he could be more. I think they could do more with Piccolo. Again, it's not to say he's bad, but I just think they could just do absolutely more. He is very lenient. He is very heavily based on the energy scale, like energy scale. He is very based on the energy scaling in terms of. He is mainly focused on energy scaling in terms of like all of his attributes. But again, I do wish there was a little bit more to him. Again, me personally, I do wish. So that's why I'm putting him on good. I'll rearrange the order of these characters like when we get to the end. But as for now, yeah, for good is Krillin and Piccolo. Now next up is Gohan, and honestly, this might be a little controversial. It might be a little bit, but you'll see why. But it makes sense, at least to me. When I first read Gohan, I was like, okay, he's kind of meh. He's whatever. But playing with him and playing alongside him, I will say, he's very good. He's honestly very good. Like, the amount of support he does as a technician character is literally busted. Like, when he is beside you as a character, or if you're using him, whatever the case may be, he just helps you so much, boosting your damage. He just does so much. Like, he does so much. Like, reading his passive right now, steering you an ally hero for a period of time to play all defense up and movement speed up to self and attack up an ally. That's pretty, in and of itself, that might seem pretty basic, but like when you look at the buffs you're getting for yourself and the ally, it's literally insane. And I think he has the most like special skills in the game so far. I think he has at least, well, excluding the passive, he has 6. Most of the characters I think have like 4 or 5 maybe. I could be wrong, but I think it's 5. But he has 2 super attacks. One is exploding rage, and the second is shattering beam. I think the exploding rage is kind of like a quote-unquote buff. I haven't really used that. I kind of just used it, but I haven't really focused on it that much. But reading it right now, it unleashes enemy around you, like I just said. Applying strike attack to allies in range. Okay, so it's like a mini buff, but like it's not a bluff, but it is. You know what I mean? Like, it's for increasing the buffs around you, right? And like for yourself and teammates. But like, it's not an attack necessarily. But once, I think once it's over, you'll be able to do the shattering beam, which again he just does so much, bro, in terms of like helping him and his other teammates. That's why he's so good. And I think he's not like someone that goes down fairly like easy either. He packs a punch. He got some defense on him. And I think I was gonna say, like, if you could put Cabba's like friend or ally thing with him, that would be much better, because Cabba's like ally what's it called, ally thingy, it increases your defense for a period of time. But like that for that specific piece, that only applies to tank characters, which is fine. But yeah, no, Gohan as a character overall, he's just dude. In this game, he's very good. He's honestly very good. A little on the complex side to understand, or to grasp, but he packs a punch. He literally packs a punch. And I'm not just saying that because it's in the description of his bio, but he's generally such a generally good character. I was so wrong. Like, when I was really into this kid, he's generally a fantastic character. So I'm putting him very good. He could be peak. Like, it depends how you play him or how you feel about him as a character. But for me personally, I just think he's very good. He's not bad at all. He's great. I get it, but not peak worthy. No, there is a few who are. But again, it can be debatable. It honestly can be exchanged, but we'll get to that. Next up we have is Trunks. I am putting him at very good. He does what he's supposed to do, dealing a huge amount of damage to foes. That's literally it. That's literally it. I will say this. I do think, I think his defense could be a little bit better. Because when I play with him, and I kind of notice on the opposite fighting against him, he dies too quickly. His damage is fantastic, but he dies way too fast. At least in my opinion. Maybe I'm just like getting like more buffs because I'm like fighting the NPCs and whatnot, but he just dies way too fast. Like, as good as he is, I just don't think, you know what I mean? Like, he's fantastic as a damage character, because that's what his role is. but his defense is not great. It's really not, which is sad to say, but like it also makes sense because these damaged characters like Piccolo and Trunks, they aren't really made for that defensive purposes. But you kind of wish that since it's a damaged character, you want them to see them do damage and you want them to survive. You know what I mean? Like you kind of wish they would have a little bit more survivability. That's not to say he's bad though, because again with his passive, I love his passive because it's like the most like what kind of thing. So basically, when you knock out or an assist a god destruction or enemy, so basically when you knock out or an assist on an enemy or a god destruction or like NPC, I'm pretty sure, or a super boss, I think, you make your skills like from 1 to 3 available on the spot if they're on cooldown. But like that's still pretty good in my opinion. Like I think that I guess again it's any hero, like not it's any enemy. And that's on cooldowns. So like that can happen. There's no limit to that. It can happen whenever. So like that to me is a really good passive. But again, my only gripe is his defense. That's literally it. See, I just noticed he just dies way too fast. He just gets bodied. And if he's fighting up against Zamasu, which I will get to at the end because he's just a whole other level, he's cooked. He's finished. He better have Gohan in his corner. He better have Gohan in his corner with Majin Buu, or else he's getting smoked. Like, simple as that. Sure, might have a bunch of damage characters might help him, but like it's not gonna work out for him realistically if he's not having some support with him, because he's gonna get cooked, like straight up. And I think that's with fighting against anybody, but like in his case in particular, if he's fighting against this menace right here, then he's in trouble. He's in serious trouble. Now we're gonna move to Android 18, and you guys might hate me for this, and it's okay. It's totally fine, but I'm gonna put her. Good. I'm joking. She's actually peak. She's literally peak, and that's not because I am a connoisseur of Android 18. I just think that she was made perfectly in the way that they designed it. Like she just does so much damage, and I think her survivability is actually pretty good. Like from what I've played against and played with, she can survive a good portion of onslaught. I will say that. I don't really see anything like. I mean, she's designed in a way that like if I was ever like a game developer, like working on like a game like a MOBA game, like this is how I would do it. This is literally how I would design Android 18. This is literally perfect. Android 18 literally just stomps. Literally stomps. Her passive is low-key some mess. It's a lot. Like so, breaking down her passive, strike the same enemy hero with 4 hits in a row to make that hero your assault target and boost the damage your character deals to them. That alone is just like, dog. All it takes is 4 hits. If you do that, like, so basically you're locking onto the opponent and you're just dealing more damage. That's literally all it is. Literally all it is. And that's not even like the most like messed up part. The next, her rush attack is even more stupid. Like after like her rush attack is high speed combo, but after her using like a skill, her next rush attack does more damage for a longer period of time, or for a period of time. So it's just like her passive and her rush attack, they just go hand in hand. So like she's just so like she's just peak, literally peak. I don't know what else you want me to say. I think me personally, she's a very easy character. She's very like not a brain dead character to like use. She might take some understanding, but like, you know what I mean? Like she's very easy to play with. You know what I mean? Like it's not hard to really control how she works. Again, she is very strike oriented. She's not mainly heavy on the blast or anything like that. Again, her defenses, I do think are pretty normal. They aren't like out the water. They aren't broken, but they work for what kind of character she is. But like, I think her cooped up with like Gohan per se. Yo, her with Gohan is actually might be dangerous. Like, cause he already boosts up damage just from this being like around your ally, right? And her damage is just insane. Like she gets more damage up too. So having these two together is just gonna be hell if played correctly, not facing up against certain people like so. Yeah, I know. Like again, her alone, again, peak, but like them two together would be dangerous. I'm literally for my own, this in my own opinion, I think they'd be devastating. the damage just devastating. You can get so much knockouts, in my opinion. Now, next up we have is Majin Buu. This is debatable. Honestly, it could be interchangeable even. I think he could be here too, but for the sake of things, I'll put him at very good. Because he's probably the easiest character to ever play in this game. Like, the most simplistic character there really is. All you have to do is just play the game for him, because he has his own self-healing capabilities, and he also heals allies on your team as well. He also places a debuff on the enemy hero too. That's just like that itself is already like peak in terms of like supporting your team as well as supporting yourself, but also like debuffing the opponent. That's just like icing on the cake right there. That's smooth. Like that, they designed that perfectly. He does do good damage too, but he's not entirely. He's not really focused. He's a support kind of character. He's a technician character, yes, but he's mainly on the support element, similar to Gohan. Again, he does do good damage as well, but he's mainly support oriented. So I think like him as support, if this was like, if I was doing a tier list about like who is the best technician character or best role technician, whatever right now, and I would be do technician, I'd either put Kid, I can't even say Kid, Majin Buu, excuse me, or Kid Gohan. It would be interchangeable. Honestly, they both be tied for number one. But me personally, I think it's slightly more towards Majin Buu, just because of his healing capable, like healing yourself and your teammates in like, any game. Realistically, that's a pretty broken ability, like in and of itself. Granted, it could be bad because the healing could be a little dookie and like it won't be that much. But for the healing he does, bro, it's insane. Like he just goes crazy. He's literally a menace. And not to mention, I forget what move he has, but there is I don't know, he throws like a piece of gum at the opponent, and like it slows down their attack and like their movement speed. And that's his basic skill too. So like that alone is just like, dude, what were they smoking when they make this? Good lord. I haven't seen his special move, or special super attack, excuse me. But I know that it creates their opponent into candy, and it does a life healing AoE. Like that stuff right there, like that is beautiful. That is a perfect character right there for a support anyway. Like it's perfect. There's nothing I really see. I'm just thinking like, dude, if you put him, Gohan, Android 18, probably Zamasu there, like you just, you're having a hell of a time. I think it's the reason I'm saying Zamasu so much. Like you'll see why, but like if you haven't played against Zamasu, then it's not gonna make much sense to you. That's why I explained it. But if you have, you know what I'm talking about, because oh my gosh. Anyways, now moving on to Cooler. Now, upon first reading his kit, I thought this man was generally like maybe top 1 or 2 in game, and he still could be, depending on how you view it. But I think, again, this is me personally here, I think I might have overestimated him a little bit. I don't have Cooler yet. I will say that I don't have him, but I have played against him, and I will say playing against him motive, I will put him at very good. His damage is good, like from what I receive on my end. Like I do use Zamasu, so like that is also why like defense is like it's higher, and you know I'm not going to receive as much damage as it would as like a damage character or a technical character. I think like again he's also like Kid Buu, like he's a very simple character to use, and I think his passive being, you know, that what's it called, the Imperial Retaliation thing, when you just become like immune to everything, like you're immune to all. But there's things that were missing, I think, when they put this on, when they posted it on Twitter. They might have posted it, but I'm not sure. I don't think they did. You apply it to yourself using your specials. You're immune to all. So basically, I think it's like an invulnerable shield. That's what I'm guessing. But there is also more. Like when an enemy hero, like the thing is, I always got confused because like when an enemy hero hits you, you could do like a retaliation attack or status, or so I think that's when you kind of have like a counter attack, which is good. Having a counter attack is really good. But the only thing it is, I think, is that the person that was playing, and I'm not even like no bashing to them because we're all still in beta, so like we are all still like trying to get a grasp of how these characters work and everything. I think that they weren't using him to his fullest potential because he generally has a lot in his team. He goes basically invulnerable or invincible, however you want to pronounce it, when using his special attacks, and then he has a counter in his move as well, if I'm understanding it correctly. He's also able to gain more damage in his retaliation status as well. That alone, like those three right there, that's just beautiful. Like that's a cheesecake right there. It's immaculate. But I don't know. Like it's weird. You know what I mean? It's weird. I don't know. He does have debuffs that he gives to the opponent when he uses specials, which I do like that. Sabotaging the opponent in some way, shape, or form is always good in my opinion. And him also having like some of his moves, whenever if you're cooler and you're playing as cooler, if the enemy is closer to you, you do more damage. If they're close to the center, right? Which is pretty cool. Like, you being able to do more damage when you're closer to that, or having a closer proximity, is a cool thing. But that's it. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't really seen his damage output with, like, me using him, so I can't really gauge it off of that. So that's kind of why I'm kind of putting it very good. I'm just judging him from, like, fighting against him. He did cause me some problems. I've seen his damage, like, fighting other people. But, like, I haven't seen it when it comes to me fighting other people using coolers. So I'll have to see that. I do have some costumes for him. I kind of want to show it, but, like, I won't show it yet. When I get him, I'll show it. But, you know, for the most part, I do think he's at the very good list for me. That's just for me. Again, it might be totally different for you guys, but for me, I think he's very good. He could be peak. It's interchangeable if you want it to be. But for me, he's a very good. Now, moving on to Goku. It's peak. It's peak. He's basically like what any kind of Goku character you would understand in any game, basically. Good damage. Kaioken is always there for some reason. Increases his power in battle too. Like he's just everything. Like he's as a damage character, I think he's peak. Like I think there's nothing wrong with him at all. His defense is pretty substantial in my opinion. Yeah, no, there's nothing really changed about Goku. He's pretty much he's fine, really. He's nothing like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like he's Goku. It's like he's what you expect. Damage character. He's mainly focusing on getting rid of your opponent by any means necessary. And of course they made him anime accurate. So like if an enemy hero defeats a ally of yours, he gets to do more damage too. So that in of itself is also stupid. Like stupid good. So like that's just man. I just think like, again I do love damage characters. So that's kind of like why I might be biased towards that in a way. But like he's good. He's honestly like again peak. He's literally peak. The only reason why I'm putting him above Cooler is because I've seen his damage output. I've seen his capabilities, his specials and everything. Like the amount of clutch he's got me out of is literally crazy. But again, it can be like when I get Cooler, it'll probably change because I'm sure Cooler's damage output will be pretty good too. And I'll be like, oh, Cooler's actually broken and yada yada yada. But for the time being, I gonna leave this here for now. Now, second last character we have on the list is Vegeta. And as you all know, he's my favorite character in all of Dragon Ball. So I am biased. Do I care? No, I don't. He's absolutely peak. Honestly, as a tank character, he works. He genuinely works. He's not that hard to understand. The only thing that generally gets him like cooked up to pieces is this menace. I'll get to that later. But other than that, he's not really going down. The problem is with him though, but he's still like fantastic. But the problem is with him, he's a late bloomer in the game. Like he mainly focusing on like keeping the battle as long as it can to like truly show his full potential. But that's not bad, you know what I mean? Like, it's good because he really could take a hit and like he makes sure he can go to that full extent of like pushing your character to like the end zone, or their character to the end zone, not in your end zone, like their end zone, like pushing them back towards. You know what I mean? He's generally a fantastic character in my opinion. Like I will say his passive could have been a little bit better. I'm pretty sure is that you reduce 50% of your cooldown. Oh, no, you reduce your cooldown when your life is, or your health is at 50%, which is okay. It's fine, but like there could be more, in my opinion. But everything else kind of like outshines that. You know what I mean? Like you have special attacks that literally like boost your defense when you hit the enemy. You know what I mean? Like that in and of itself is still crazy. Some of them actually boost your damage as well. Some of them again also upgrading. Some of them also again restoring your toughness and whatnot, and also pushing your enemies again towards their end of the zone. Right? That is still pretty. Again, I do wish his passive was great, but everything other than that is literally great. His survivability is fantastic. Damage is great. Him having an basically an AOE super move is peak. A lot of these characters do actually. By the way, Goku has one. Vegeta has one. I think Gohan. I don't know if he does. I know Cooler has one. Piccolo's special beam. I don't know if Trunks has one. Right? But yeah, but having that as a move is still peak as well. And I'm pretty sure your damage and your toughness / defense is like refilled when you are closer to the enemies too when it comes to Vegeta. So like he just does so much defensively and offensively too. He's all of that and some more. But I just wish his passive had a little bit more oomph to it. But honestly, that's okay. I do think for what he is right now, he's good. Again, this is just beta. This is nothing like this is nothing official. Like they still could change it months down the line, right? So take that what you will. And now lastly, we have this mother freaking menace right here. Good lord. I hate playing against him even when I am using him. This guy causes me so much grief. Freaking Zamasu, man. I generally think he is probably the best character in the game. I generally think so. He just does so much and some more and some more. He's just keeps on going. He doesn't stop. Like, someone get this man get this man a coffee, get him some tea. He just does too much. Tell me how, like, think of this. Think of you, like, losing, let's say you're bleeding out, right? And you're like, you know what? I can stitch up these bandages with just beating up somebody over and over and over again. You know what I mean? And the thing is, and there's no limit to that. You could do it forever. He's that and some more. So basically, when you're playing as Zamasu, you do have like these. You have a gauge, but it's split in two. But when you start the match, it's empty. When you're flying in, and you see those you see those couple of enemy NPCs, you fight them. You build up your level, of course, and whatnot. But they also fill up your gauge. What that gauge does is stupid. That gauge, when you fill it up, first off, you're able to heal yourself. And then afterwards, when you die, you consume that gauge and you come back to life again. That, you coming back to life already is kind of really broken. But the fact that there's no limit on that, you just do it again and again and again. There's no limit. It's literally stupid. Which is sad. They're probably going to nerf something. They're probably going to nerf him. Maybe when the full gauge comes out. I hope not. But like, they probably will. Because he just causes so... That's not even like the most of what he does. Like, there's also like the amount of bull crap he does. Like his super move, he does a good amount of damage. But it also has the opponent has their movement speed like slower down heavily, and it's an AOE move. It affects the whole area around him. So like when they get hit, everyone feels it. Like and everyone's moving slow. Like there's nothing to joke around about. His damage is fantastic. I do like his one special move, but it's not a gripe with it. But like it's kind of I feel iffy. It's called Divide and Rush, and what it is basically, again, the closer you are to the center, the more damage it does. but it basically pushes them away with a slice, right? And that could be good when you're pushing the enemy away from the boss that they're attacking on your side. That's fantastic, but it's just going all the way back. That's the only problem. But yeah, no, the amount of sturdiness and damage he has is stupid, and the amount of times I've lost against him is stupid. Like, the only reason why I'm not playing it with Vegeta more is because of him. On offensively, defensively, I would love to use him, but like, you don't know who your enemy is choosing until it's too late. And then when you see Zamasu, it's kind of like your game is basically already decided. Like, you most likely will probably lose if you don't have one on team already, or you guys just constantly like just two team him. You generally have to two team him. You can't do it alone unless you're some big brain. I don't know, but at least for me, my experience playing these past 2 days, nah. You can't win unless, again, you're either two teaming or you just got luck on your side. I don't know, because I've been Zamasu myself, and I've lost to him multiple times. Sure, you can say the one is better than me. You can say that. But what he does is just dumb, bro. It's so dumb. And like, he builds up his gauge pretty quickly too. So when you think he might be down and out, he just gets back up again. He heals himself or just comes back to life. He's not down and out for the count yet. The only reason, when I was playing as Zamasu, I studied and I literally focused on the fact that you basically won't ever go down or die unless, like, you get two teams or another Zamasu's in the mix, and they're just better than you. That's literally the only way you're going down. Because if you're doing a 1v1, you're most likely going to have those extra lives that you get from fighting the NPCs, or basically fighting the NPCs, plus the extra life you get from getting the gauge, right? No other character in this group has that. So you're most likely just gonna be winning that fight, and you just keep on going over and over and over again. That his come back to life ability alone is just stupid, in my opinion. It's dumb. It's literally stupid. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that is basically the tier list video. I think I'm gonna rearrange this right now. Let me just put Zamasu first, Vegeta second because I'm biased. I think this is good. For very good, I will put them here. Again, interchangeable. But cool right here. And for good, I think I'll keep it like this. So it's left to right. This is starts from 1, ends at 4, 1 to 4, 1 to 2. So that is it for my tier list video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think of it in the comment section below. Let me know if you agree or if you disagree. Let me know what you guys think of these characters overall in the comment section below. And also let me know what you guys think of Dragon Ball Project Multi as well. With that being said, my name is LC. Have an amazing day. God bless, and I'll catch you all later.